7 years ago, Matt and I lost our last baby. I hiked to the top of his 80 acres out in Chattaroy every year to remember. It wasn't a leisurely stroll. I forced myself up that hill as fast as I could go because the icy sear of winter air in my lungs was the closest sensation I could find to the searing pain of losing a child. My ritual at the top wasn't gentle either. I took glass with me. I liked the sound as it shattered against the rocks. I considered my makeshift memorial. We celebrated the first 5 years of my 40s and the first 5 years of her non-existent life together. I wasn't prepared. We'd had some griefs. We had 4 children. Our first pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. Our 4th child was a twin that melted into a single baby between the first ultrasound and the second. But nothing prepared me for the neonatologist's quiet, firm words. There's your baby, her beating heart, her tiny fingers, there's her leg. And right there, do you see? There's where her intestines are growing outside of her body. There's where her plates of her skull haven't fused together properly around her brain. Abnormalities incompatible with life outside the womb. It takes a while to understand. Abnormalities, okay, she'll be different. Incompatible, 2 things that can't exist together. And then life outside the womb. It sinks in slowly, ripping as it goes. A 6-month death sentence. After that, there's nothing left but impossible end-of-life decisions for a baby we'd never know and never hold. My husband wasn't prepared when I came to him with a huge stack of paperwork, finished and ready for his signature. I want to be a foster mother, I told him. I want to hold babies until I can't stand babies anymore. Please, I begged. I feel like the pain in my chest will never go away. On my 45th birthday, her 5th, the year she should have started kindergarten, I set out on my trek a little half-heartedly. The snow was really deep, and I only had until 2 o'clock when I had to pick up our 4-year-old, our 5th child, a little blue-eyed love who'd come to us at 9 months old and stayed from his preschool. About 3 or 4 bends up the trail, I ran directly into a mother moose standing across the path. I don't know if you've ever seen a moose in the wild, but I grew up on the East Coast. My dad was born and raised in Manhattan. We didn't even camp. I'm afraid of cows. Moose are like enormous alien beings. They tower above you with hooves the size of dinner plates. She was a resident on our land, usually appearing when she had a calf. I realized all this from the bottom of the trail, which I rushed to as fast as I possibly could to be within safe distance of my minivan. But I was determined, and so after a deep breath, I headed back up. My heart pounded around every turn, and I gradually relaxed into the hike, but about 250 yards beyond our first encounter, she stepped from the woods again, majestic and fucking huge. She said without any words at all, "Nope, not this way, not today." Again, at the bottom of the trail, gasping for breath, bitter and unhappy, I made the decision to head up my husband's road, which is actually a 2-rut track to the cabin, which is actually a shack, but Matt has more outdoorsmen in his pinky finger than I will ever have in my entire body, so I'll give him cabin. My head was down, focused on the deep snow, my shoulders hunched to match my mood, so it was the noise that I caught. I'd startled a great horned owl out of her perch on a spindly tree just to the left of the road. She hovered momentarily directly in front of me like a gray and white baby dragon, and then flapped majestically away over the trees. I don't believe in signs, but I laughed out loud. And then I yelled to the universe, I get it, because I do. I could have laid in the snow and beaten my head against the dead moose of my dead baby, my infertility, my scarred uterus, my age. Instead, I crawled and then limped a hard left down a difficult and overgrown path. Because of it, we have our beautiful 4-year-old son. And now a curly-haired, bright-eyed little boy who came to us for 3 days and stayed for 3 years. And 17 other gorgeous little owlets who came for a day or a week or a summer. Unintended happy endings, never a part of our plans. I don't believe in signs, but for me, owls will always be a reminder that unexpected beauty lays down every path and around even the darkest corners. So heads up, my loves, eyes open. We only get to take this walk once.